I was watching another dog. They had like a face-off, but when I tried to grab the shepherd by his neck, he reactively just went and bit whatever he could, and it was my thigh, and I was bleeding and it hurt so bad. And I thought I didn't know if I wanted to keep him at that point. I was just, it was so stressful.
The only thing that I'm missing is actual. And
so what kind?
Chew, no. Chew, stop. Come on, stop. Chew, calm down. Come on, Chew. Chew, stop. Stop. Chew, stop. Come on. Chew, stop.
Definitely, every dog he sees right now. So there's a couple of techniques. So the first technique right there is just to snap his attention off of the dog. That's why he redirects. That's how he tries to. Hey. That's why he tries to bite, because he's so focused on what's in front of him. That's why he bit you that one time. Sit. So the first thing that I did, the reason that I did that touch is because I want to make sure that the dog understands I'm able to get his attention. So see, he's only focusing on the dogs in front of him and being so reactive, and he doesn't pay attention to anything else around him. So that's why he completely ignores you. He's just lunging, pulling. So that first pressure that I did, he was like that shock moment. He's like, whoa, what is this? But then as soon as I get his attention, leave it. I'm actually going to try to manage him, so I kind of maintain the calmness, because I can tell when he's looking at those dogs, this type of look right here, he's very unsure about them. That's why he's defensive, he's afraid of them. So what I want to do is manage that by basically telling him what to do, give him instructions, leave it, hey, leave it, good. So you can tell how it's very difficult. So in the beginning, I'm staying really on top of him, because what I'm doing is basically redirecting his attention until he's able to relax. So now that was only the first time with a dog going by. Every time a dog goes by is my chance to practice. Now, if enough dogs go by and he can stay calm and relaxed, he's going to learn to do that on his own. So that means like whenever he sees a dog, he no longer has this reaction that he currently has when he sees a dog. What I want to talk about is the pulling. He said there's a lot of leash pulling. He doesn't have any sense of following directions, so that becomes a problem. Have you ever used any other type of collar?
Just a soft one, but he broke it.
Okay, because the choke collars are not very effective to train the dogs. Come, good boy. So I can tell, like right now he's kind of aloof. He's not really like sharp with his commands, you know. Which we want to have that, because basically we're not trying to wait until the dog is reactive and correct him. That's what I had to do in the beginning, because he's already been practicing the bad behavior for a long time. But my goal now is to actually, again, manage him and maintain this calmness to prevent him from being reactive.
Okay.
So what I like to do is switch to a prong collar. The prong collar would be basically not to correct him, but actually for directions. So I actually have my prong collar here, and I can show you if you want me to try on him and show you how it works.
Sure.
But basically it's going to be just as a line of communication to make things more clear for the dog and less confusion. Right now there's confusion. There's a lot of pulling, yanking, there's nothing that gets his attention. Now what I did instead of the collar, it was that leash, the hand pressure. So I did the hand pressure to get the dog's attention, but he can't realistically do that every minute of every day whenever you have a dog around. So again, the prong collar is something that's just there on the dog every time the leash is on, so you can use it consistently to manage the dog.
Okay.
Leave it. Let me go right over here. Leave it. Sit. Sit. Good. So again, the dog is barking at him. That's a big trigger. So for him to not respond, this is huge. But watch, there's no tension on the leash. If he's responding, reward him calmly. Just like teach him that he doesn't have to care about his dog. See, it doesn't matter. Now, the thing is, if I see how he tried to look at the dog, if I let him look for too long, he's going to become uncomfortable, and then he will lose his mind. He's going to become defensive. So I have to kind of watch his body language. So that's why understanding body language is so important. Right now, he's pretty calm. He's unsure. He's like, what is happening here? You know, he's a little confused, but he's pretty calm. The ears going up, so if you fixate on a dog, like he can't look away, that's him getting concerned about the dog. See how the new dog shows up? He's a little bit more elevated a little bit, but he's still pretty okay. If it's any more than that intensity from him, I would have to go there, leave it, to manage him, you know? But again, we want the best tools on him so that it takes the least amount of pressure to communicate. He never had a prong collar on before? Okay, so this should be really good to demonstrate how it works. So first we're gonna put it on. Now the leash doesn't even go on there until he's actually comfortable with the collar first.
Oh.
Leave it. And I'll show you how I get him comfortable with the collar. So first thing, we're going to have it fit snugly. We want it close behind the ears. Okay. Let the dog know that it's there, because I don't want him to freak out. Now the prong collar, the way that it's designed, the sensation of the collar gets the dog's attention. But because it's something new and because it gets their attention and if they feel restricted, some dogs can act a little bit in a negative way about it, right? They don't understand what is it, why they have to listen to it, and what to expect from it. So when I go here and I deliver a little bit of sensation, he understands it's just that. It's not going to escalate. He doesn't have to worry about it. Then the next step is I have to teach him to now follow directions from that. What I want to do is condition the dog to respond to the minimum amount of pressure. So no more yanking and jerking on the leash. All I'm going to do is this right here and use my body language, and that told him come forward. So basically here, we're gonna go back. As long as he's following directions from the minimum amount of pressure like this, that's all we need. We wanna try to prevent having to use more and more pressure because they're constantly holding tight like this. This is the wrong way. Instead, we do a lot of conditioning the dog that 2 fingers on the leash, and you do this, he responds, the tension goes away. Then I switch directions. I do a lot of switching directions, and I'm constantly guiding the dog to follow me. See how he's always following me? And all I'm doing is reinforcing with that very little bit of pressure. Now, of course, when you have a high level of distraction in front of you, you're going to have to apply a little bit more, but you're always going to start with the minimum amount, just enough right there. Leave it, right, just like that. Because again, we're going to teach him that when there's a dog and he's getting uncomfortable, we tell him, leave it, and redirect his attention. As soon as he responds and he goes to more like a neutral state of mind, then we're relaxed. We're showing him this is what we want. Now, I'm going to practice going back and forth a couple of times. This is just kind of imprinting the dog's mind what is happening, which is he's following directions from me. He doesn't have to care about those dogs. Once he gets that first idea of what I'm teaching him, then I can get closer to the other dogs and push him a little bit more to see how he progresses.
Okay.
Good boy. So again, at this point, I'm going to do a lot of switching directions because I'm teaching him to follow directions from me. Good boy. We can stop. See how this is almost like stepping on the brake? He responds, the tension goes away, then I'm ready to walk again. And as you can see, there's a lot of dogs, they're all barking. He's doing pretty good. But he is trying to look at them because he's a little unsure of what is going on. Okay.
So it's like a brake. You don't always want to slam it. You just want to tap it sometimes.
Well, so basically you're using it as a line of communication. So basically the sensation of the collar is what gets his attention. So everything that you want him to do, you use the collar accordingly. I will teach you how to do all these movements. But let's say I want you to stop right now. It's going to be this. This told him to stop. And then I can let go because he already stopped. If I want him to come to my right side, I can just move him like this. And now he's on the right side. So if I want him on the left, I can bring him like this. Now he's on the left. And it's very little pressure because what it's doing is the sensation of the collar is getting his attention and it's guiding him. If you use it incorrectly, you're gonna feel like he's still having to jerk on the leash and it's not as effective, you know, and the dog can learn to ignore the prong collar. If I want him to sit, that's all it takes. So now, I'm telling him without saying anything verbally, I'm asking him to sit. And we're gonna condition him so he gets better and better at this and it takes less and less pressure. Sit. And if you give him a verbal command, it'll be easier to reinforce it with the collar. I was also demonstrating how basically you can use just the collar to communicate with him, but he needs a little bit more training to understand the collar completely. Leave it. Now, I want you to pay attention to the important body language signs that he gives you. So one thing that he see when those dogs went by is that his panting got very strong. He was like, that's him getting agitated. That's him like getting basically warmed up to be reactive. Do you know why? Because he thinks he needs to be doing that. So his body's preparing to react, to be putting up a fight. The ears pointing, fixation, like he can't look away of something, that's him getting uncomfortable. So let's just say I'm hanging out here, he's doing great, but then all of a sudden, a dog starts to come towards me and he just fixates. That's him letting you know, like, hey, I don't know how to handle this, I don't know what to do, I'm afraid, and then his instinct is to put up a fight. What I want to do instead is when I see that, the moment that starts to happen, there could be a dog over there that he just like doesn't like and he starts to get agitated, leave it. Before he loses his mind, I just redirect him. So because you're redirecting him, you'll make it so much easier. I didn't even see the little dog. So because you want to prevent situations like that. I only saw the person, I didn't even see the dog. But those are exactly the things that you have to be on the lookout for whenever there's a dog coming. See, the reason he did that is because he got afraid and he felt like he needed to defend himself. I didn't give him a way out. If I had seen the dog, what I would have done is move him away from that dog. Now, you're not going to be hiding or crossing the street, none of that. You're just going to give the dog a little bit of space.
Okay.
So like, see, uncomfortable. So when he's looking like this, the dog looking right at him, right here, and they're just neutral. If they look at him right now, he's going to react. If they come towards him a little bit closer, he's going to react. So when you see this look, leave it. Come on, leave it. Good. Basically making it easier for him to be around other dogs. Now, the way that this is going to solve the problem is because this is only part of the solution, right? The part of the solution is they're making things a little bit easier for him. He's no longer feeling cornered and like he has to defend himself. But because he's going to be hanging out around dogs more and more and more, he's going to start to get more comfortable around dogs. But until then, we don't put him in a position where he has to defend himself. A dog is coming, leave it. Good. See how I keep him busy. If you keep him busy and you keep redirecting his attention, it becomes easier for him. Right there, it's when that panting, that look, he's uncomfortable. If you just let him do this, he's going to be defensive. So instead, you redirect.
Okay.
And if you redirect before he's already agitated, he's not going to try to bite you. If he's already really invested into the other dog, then he's so invested into it that when you get his attention, he might turn around and try to bite. That's just meaning he's very unstable in that moment right there because he doesn't know what's happening. He's just too much tension, too much agitation. Here, leave it. We're going to get a little bit closer now to the other dogs. Sit. And you also want to be proactive with telling him what to do. See, what I'm doing right now is I'm not letting that build up. The agitation that I told you, when he sees a dog, he has all this built up negative association with them, and then he gets agitated. Right now, I'm already telling him what to do before he even loses his mind. Now he's having a positive association with dogs. Because even though these dogs are barking and running and they're close to him, they're not doing it. They're not doing anything to him. Hey, sit. Hey, sit. They're not doing anything to him. And we have to be careful to avoid situations like that. Okay. Do you notice how he only reacts to the dogs that I don't give him a way out from them? Like, he's not reacting to these dogs. He only reacting to the ones that, you see, even when they come close to me, I can keep him from reacting as long as he feels like I'm managing him. I'm managing the situation. Look at this little white one coming. The moment that he feels like I'm no longer in control of giving him directions is when he's being reactive. So watch this dog. Leave it. Leave it. Come. Good. It's okay.
Good boy, too.
It was pretty close. He was, you know, he was not completely comfortable, but he didn't get to the point of lashing out.
Yeah.
All right, so here there's another dog again. And I'm gonna give him a little bit more space. I was pretty close before. You don't have to push him as much. I'm just showing you what to do that, but watch this now. There's a little bit more of a safe distance. He's doing great. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Good. Leave it. That was great. And then we're gonna go back. And we want to do a lot of repetition. Just passing by dogs. The dogs are there. We're teaching him he does not have to worry about it. Now his body language is very relaxed. The dogs are barking, he's barely even carrying, there's no tension on the leash. I'm not even telling him what to do, he's just walking with me. Now again, we want to practice this every day as much as possible. If my goal was to train this dog to be better, I would continuously do this until he has built enough positive association with dogs.
Okay.
Okay, so we're passing by new dogs again. So watch what I'm going to start to do now is managing him before he even gets agitated. Right there. Yeah. See that look that he gave? Leave it.
His head went up a little.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn him around. He was becoming a little bit too intense. You can see he wasn't able to look away from them. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Right there. So if I don't do that little management that I was doing, there was no way that he would be able to pass by those dogs. So every time he's trying to look at like, whoa, there's dogs right there. That's him basically saying like, whoa, what's gonna happen? Like these dogs are coming at me. I have to do something about it. So it's very important that I keep managing him because again, it's not that it's gonna be perfect right from the beginning. It's very important to realize that it's going to be a lot of work. But as I know, by doing this, it's working towards the right direction to make him better in the long run. We're gonna pass by more dogs over here. There's a bunch of big dogs at the park. That's it. Leave it. Again, him looking is not the look that we're correcting. It's because this dog is fearful. So this is very important to understand. When he stares at the other dog, it's basically him saying, he's very uncomfortable. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He cannot relax. He has to be fixated at them because he's on high guard, like he's on high alert that something can happen to him. We're gonna get a little bit closer to the other dogs right now.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll let you practice a little bit. All right, let's bring him a little bit closer. This doesn't get solved overnight. So what I wanna do is the moment that he's even a little bit calm around other dogs, positive affirmation. Just letting him know, yes, they're doing the right thing. So it's not like rewarding, getting him excited, but it's helping putting his mind at ease that he is okay. So the dog is pretty close. He's doing pretty good. Yes, good boy. So we're going to try to get him to be relaxed, and also we want him to start making his own decisions. So he's right now not able to make like the smartest decisions on his own. So we're managing him and being on top of it, but we want to start to open up the doors for him to make his own decisions as well. So right here, for example, this is him making his own decisions. A little bit agitated. I'm letting him decide what to do, but this is good for him because this is him learning to. I'm not correct, I'm not telling him what to do. He's just choosing whether he reacts to that dog or he just doesn't react to that dog. Good boy. Good. I'm gonna remove him now. You can tell the tail wagging actually is a sign of excitement, but it can be agitation as well. So very little redirecting right there. He did great. What a good boy. Oh, let's see over here. Look at it. It's a big dog. Shh, leave it. Yes, good boy.
How could you tell so quickly he was gonna react right there? Like what?
Well, so I don't even take a chance with a dog that's highly reactive like this. I mean, look at every dog he passed by, he was reactive. So what I'm going to do is actually be proactive with giving the dog directions to prevent him from being reactive.
Okay.
So when dogs are reactive, it's because they're afraid. So if I let this dog come right to his face, I'm giving him the opportunity to be reactive because I'm putting him in a position that he can't walk away from. Now, I'm watching his body language, and also the tail went up. He was getting, it's almost like excitement-like behavior. That indicates that the dog is getting agitated. Right now, he's not. He's curious, and this can happen in a second. So I'm watching very closely. Those dogs are neutral. I pay attention to him and also what's happening around him. Because again, if that dog is very strong and agitated, he's gonna get more uncomfortable.
Okay.
If a dog just surprises him, shows up close to him too fast, he's going to be more uncomfortable. So if I see any dogs acting like that, I want to step in right away and redirect him. Right there. Watch how he looked, but that dog is not confrontational. Right there. A little bit too close, face to face. But also, again, he's so mild. There's a couple of approaches that we can do here. One is I make it like not a big deal, and I just redirected him a little bit. It's not necessarily wrong to do that. I think my favorite approach is to prevent him from even reacting like that in the first place. The first time I redirected him. The second time I didn't, and then he was a little bit reactive. So basically that's why I did it the first time. Shh, leave it. No, it's okay. So right there, same thing, too much close into his face. So this is pretty much nothing more than a habit that he has. Like, he's just been practicing this for so long, which means he has a lot of potential. When it's just a habit, that means he's not really like that afraid of other dogs. He's not like that angry with other dogs. He just doesn't understand that it's okay to be around them, and he already develops this habit. So a lot of it, he just does it over repetition that he created for himself.
Okay. That's why it's so easy, you said.
Yeah, that's why it's easy to fix, because as soon as I get him in there with the other dogs and he realizes he doesn't have to do anything about it, he will go immediately to like, oh, okay, this is fine. Versus the dog that's like really afraid, and that's why they're reactive. Now they take a lot more repetition because basically the fear is more intense than just a habit. All right, do you want to practice a little bit?
Okay.
I want you to be very aware of your surroundings, first of all. You can stay close to the park here to practice, but what I want you to be careful with is don't put him, be careful dogs not to get too close to him. If a dog is coming, just move him out of the way altogether.
Okay.
First of all, you have the prong collar that is brand new. Tell me what he thinks first. Take him for a walk over there.
It seems it's a lot easier to make a move quicker.
Take him for an actual walk and then tell me how you feel.
Okay.
So right now that's with the prong collar. We switched the choke collar that she had. She could not walk him at all without him dragging her around. Very nice. Now it's a very loose leash. There's no tagging. There's no tension on the leash at all. He's following directions. Amazing. That's always the first step. If you can't give your dog directions like that, you always stuck at square one.
Okay.
That's why we switched the collar right away. Do you want to try passing by that husky?
Okay.
But don't go too close. Just go ahead right here, right now. Go ahead.
Okay.
And you're in charge. Hold on closer to his collar. Don't let him pay too much attention to the other dog. Just keep redirecting him.
Right here. Right here. Shoot, hold on. Okay.
All right, let me see.
Oh, you're going too fast. There we go.
All right, I want you to be able to practice. There's also those two dogs over there. So all you have to do differently is be a little bit more proactive with telling your dog what to do.
Okay.
So before he pays too much attention to the other dog, you're already telling him beforehand, pay attention to you.
Sure.
And if you're from further away, that's okay. As you get more confident and he gets more confident, you get closer and closer and closer.
Okay.
But right now there's two dogs off leash, so go back into the grass. Go ahead here, right here. Go straight ahead.
Okay.
Keep him moving, keep him moving. Go ahead, yes.
Let's go this way.
So maybe go a little bit further from the park, but go right here, pass by.
Hey. Shoot.
Yeah, so always watch, again, the look, you know? He did okay. Naturally, when he sees just dogs right now, he goes like, whoa, there's a dog. So that's when you want to be very careful to not let it build up, like right now. I can see before, I don't even have to look behind, I know there's a dog because of his look. Okay. So I pay attention more to what, you know, how he's looking at things. So these dogs are coming, pulling, yep, turning him around, go away. Good. That's great. And just keep him busy, keep him moving.
Come on, let's go.
Now hold on to his leash a little bit closer to the collar, put your hand down, yes. And now just give him directions. And watch his body language, there's dogs everywhere. Go a little faster, go a little faster, a little faster, perfect.
There you go.
So again, when you go faster, you're just keeping him busy. That's great.
Come on, this way.
And as soon as you pass, you can relax. Now you're good.
Let's go.
So let me tell you something, you did really good, but that's important to know. So in emergency situations, you keep your dog busy. There's certain things that you can do. So for example, see how there was dogs all the way around you?
Yeah.
If you freeze, it's gonna be reactive. So instead you actually go faster.
Okay.
Because when you go faster and you make the dog go with you, you're keeping him busy. He doesn't have time to focus on the trigger. Dogs are always a trigger for him right now because he's afraid of them.
Okay.
He's uncomfortable around them. So whatever you do, you keep him focusing on you. All right, there's a dog coming. And if they get close to you, just spin him around, just make him move away fast. As soon as he moves out of that situation, you can relax again. Perfect.
Okay, come on.
So in general, you're going to try to prevent putting him in situations like that where he doesn't have a way out. But if it happens, because when you're out in public, these things can happen, you just know how to give him directions very quickly.
Okay. Let's chill here, huh? Oh, someone's coming. Come on. Good boy. Yeah, what a good boy. Oh, my boy, I'm proud of you. Good boy. Snout? What a good boy.
Hey.
Come on, come on. What's up, beautiful?
So now we're going to get a little closer here again. There's more dogs. Good, so now he's sniffing the fence, and I'm still not going to let dogs come all the way to his face. So like right there, I'm going to redirect, because that was still going to be another level that's too much for him. But I would just kind of bring him back, let him sniff, let him look, and pull away. Because we want to do a lot of repetition before we know he's good on his own.
Okay.
See right there, face to face, he froze.
Yeah.
If I just don't do anything, this is when he gets defensive.
Okay. Chi, what a good girl.
Boy. Good boy. Hi.
Hi, I'm a fan. Just want to follow her.
Oh, nice.
Cute.
I can walk around your dog with him. He's my client's dog. He's learning to be around other dogs. So see like that look right there again. He gets defensive. Leave it. So usually what I do is like when it's like neutral dogs that you just don't know, you just pass by.
Okay.
Like so I wouldn't force them to interact at all right now. I'll just teach them to pass and ignore this dog. So I'll go right here. Come. Good.
Come here, Chi. Let's get in the shade.
Good. Leave it. So that look like he can't look away. That means he's uncomfortable. So doing a little bit more redirecting. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. But it's just staying calm, just leading the way. Because every time he passes by, nothing bad happens. You're giving him positive association with dogs. We give him a positive experience around the dog. Now he's a lot more relaxed. This time he's able to pass by and he's not fixating like that. Good. The less fixating he's doing, the more relaxed he is about the dog being there. Good boy. Good job. Good job.
Come on, Chihuahua.
Come. And as he gets calmer, he can get closer and closer. So like right now he's pretty close, but I'm still managing him. You can't really do this unless you work with him first before he gets closer. So there's another dog coming, same thing. Going to start to redirect him. Good boy, I can bring him back. Yes, good job.
Yay, Chew. Way better.
Good boy.
It's gonna take work, but yeah, I think
Good.
super manageable, like you said.
All right, I'm gonna pass by this one dog, and then I'm gonna have you practice with walking both dogs after. And again, always avoiding situations where he doesn't have a way out. He feels like he doesn't have a way out of it.
Okay.
That's very important. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna let you go completely on your own. I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
Now, avoid other dogs because you're focusing mostly on giving them direction. So one thing on the leash is like this. You're gonna have him on your left side. Have your hand all the way down. You're holding it pretty close to the collar. You're not holding with tension. But so if you need to apply pressure, it's quick. Hey, leave it, come. It's like that.
Okay.
Stop, come. He's always right there. Maybe try to maintain her a little bit on the right side just so she doesn't get stepped on.
Okay. Let's go, guys.
Just make sure there's no tension on the neck. Okay, on his neck.
There we go. Hold on, Chew. Come down. This way. Chew.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You're doing really good.
Yeah, good job, Chew.
Very different dogs. I'm excited to see them next week.
Go right here.
Good job. That's
Yeah.
good.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I think that should be good for them now.
Okay.
There's only so much, that they will be able to process in a healthy way.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what to expect, but I was hoping that I could have more control of my German Shepherd and my Chihuahua. And it was definitely not what I expected to be able to walk my dogs myself today, both of them at the same time, and have him not react. The main things was that I wasn't walking him properly. I was letting him kind of be all over the place. And that also the main difference, he was, with that guidance, he's able to be calm and I can have the dog I want. I can have both dogs at the same time. The difference in her also was that I didn't think that she was that easy to control, but it was after the session, I was able to control a lot easier. So those are two big differences that I was able to walk them both together with them being calm. When I didn't try prong collars because I kind of felt bad that it might hurt the dog. And so when he bit me and I was bleeding, and also when he broke out a fight, a big man was about to hit me in the face because he got loose. And at that point, I knew that I needed something stronger. And I have another collar, which is not a prong, but it's a chain. And with the prong collar, I noticed that I actually can get him to listen. With the one I have now, it's not. So having stronger collars definitely helps. I don't feel it's hurting him. I feel like it's kind of giving him a nudge, like, hey, you probably don't want to keep going down that path you're going. So it gives him like a little heads up. I don't think I'm hurting him. Oh yeah, definitely. You gave me quick, very simple, direct things that I can work with him on and her.